Hey friends, welcome back to another episode of my design team series for Desiree Tangles. Include a thank you. So do not put away your fall stuff quite yet because I'm going to take fall and turn it into Christmas. So you saw my release on her fall leave stamp set that she came out with. And before I put this away, I'm going to do another fall set with it, at least one or two more fall sets with it because we got a month or so left to fall. But I can't wait to use it for Christmas. So I have a cute little idea. Let's hope this works. I'll be honest, I've not done a dry run of it because I think I've got a good solid picture in my head of what I want to do with this. So let's just go to the down camera. Let's take a look at what I'm going to do. And we're going to get inky. We're going to get kind of fun and gritty dirty with this one probably. So let's just take a look. Let's go down. All right. If you have not purchased this stamp set yet, you have to get this stamp set. This is just the cutest stamp set. These leaves are awesome. They have such a design on them that they can go from mixed media, funky, gritty, cool, to nice and elegant. So we're going to go kind of fun with these. I've done a little bit of everything with these. And then we're going to turn these into Christmas. All right? So awesome fall set. Let me just zoom in so you can kind of see the detail on these before I start getting dirty. Zentangled leaves, 3 of them. She's got a grateful, cozy hugs, and autumn greetings. We're not going to use these. We're going to use a holiday greeting instead off of her holiday set. And then we're going to use these to make Christmas trees out of them. So how are we going to do this? Let's just take a look. Let me just zoom back out for you. All right. What I have done, I have gone through and pre-cut some triangles, different size triangles, out of white cardstock. This is Nina 110 Classic Crest cardstock. All right, not watercolor, because I'm not going to get this too wet. Now I'm going to use some of these brand new. I just purchased a whole set of my Distress Oxide sprays, and we're going to use the Mowed Lawn, Twisted Citron, and Squeezed Lemonade with just a little bit of tiny picked raspberry over the top of that with the Distress spray. All right, so we're going to get these nice and inky green and yellow, kind of Christmassy kind of looking. Then we're going to take and stamp these over top of these and get a nice cool design on those Christmas trees. And then we're going to lay them into a snowbank. And we got ourselves a really simple card. So let's just get started. And this is going to be so easy to do. Hopefully, I'm not speaking too loud. I may have to adjust volume in post. I did get a new mic system. I'm wearing it on my shoulder, so hopefully I'm not screaming into the mic here. But I'm going to lay all of these into my splatter box, okay? I'm going to start with my lightest to darkest of all of these. So with these oxides, you want to just mix these up really good. You know, shake these up so you get everything dispersed in there. No mica in these, so you don't have to worry about mica settling and things on these ones, but just get them nice and mixed up. And I'm just going to mix and layer and spray. So I may be drying in between just to get, excuse me, some nice layers of my color. All right, did a little test on there. There's my color there. So I'm just going to go through and layer my colors in here. Okay. Next, I'm going to go with my Twisted Citron. And I added the Squeezed Lemonade. It is just personal preference. I like a little yellow with my greens, my greenery. Doesn't need it for Christmas necessarily, but I'm just going with it. Okay. Whoop. Turn that little baby over. And just start layering this up. Now it's drying back pretty good because it's kind of soaking into this. It's not watercolor paper, so it's not sitting on the surface. It is soaking it up pretty good. When you don't do it on just regular cardstock, you do it on, it will soak up pretty good. All right. And I'm just going to now keep going with my layers until I get kind of what I'm going for here. And do a little more of my Mowed Lawn. Okay, I want just a little spritz for the top. All right, I'm going to dry these back and then give this just a little spritz of my picked raspberry, so I just have a little red and green in there. I'm not going to splatter these with water. I'm not necessarily going for that texture. I did get that little splatter feel by just mixing that squeezed lemonade right over the top with those drops. So you can tell, without this being watercolor cardstock, it is going to curl up just a little bit on me. All right, now I'm going to, rather than spray this, I'm just going to splatter this. Just so I get just a little bit of some redness in that. Overall, this is going to somewhat blend out anyway as I stamp over these. But before I stamp over them, I want this good and dry. All right, I'm going to kind of leave it at that. You can kind of see my little green and red going on here. I'm going to dry this up really good. And then we're going to stamp over these with my leaves. So I just get that kind of textured Christmas tree, really is all I'm going for with these. Making sure I get kind of both sides dry, because they'll kind of flatten out a little bit too if you flip these over. As you dry them and then they curl, flip it over, it'll kind of flatten down on you just a little bit, because you want to get both sides of that paper dry as those fibers got wet kind of as this penetrated through. All right, let's get out my Misty. Now I'm going to use the Misty for this, just in case I have to re-stamp over just a little bit if I don't get a good solid clean kind of stamp. I'm going to put my sticky mat back in here so I got something to kind of hold these trees down away from the edge. Okay. All right. Now I'm going to just start kind of with my medium-sized one. All right, now I'm going to end up using all three of these. So I'm just going to start with one of them, and the idea is just to get this to cover over that Christmas tree the best that you can. You may have to move on that bigger one. I may have to kind of move my stamp around, but if I can get most of it covered with one swoop here on these little ones, then the better. Okay. On these, I'm going to use my archival. So this is going to be my jet black archival ink. And I do know this probably has just a little bit more drying time, so you want to be careful not to smear this as you pick up your Christmas tree, okay? Now, could you stamp this in red or green or any different color than black? Absolutely. Get it more Christmassy by doing that. Okay, I'm just going to get a nice, one more clean, good, bright kind of lines on this. So, if you've been watching my channel for any amount of time, you know I've had this conversation about extending my stamps, multi-uses of my stamps. That is so cool, you guys. Check this out. Look at that. Isn't that just the coolest? Now, peel this away. It's like you're making your own little designer series paper, little Christmas tree cutouts, right? All right, so set that one aside. I'm going to grab my next one. And since that one was kind of bigger, I'm going to switch, and I'm going to use my big maple leaf on my next one. So as I was saying, you know that I try to stretch my stamps, right? So even though these are fall, can I turn fall into spring? Can I turn, how much can I stretch these out? These were technically intended as fall stamps, right? I'm just trying to stretch this out now and stretch my fall into, I'm turning these into holiday stamps, realistically. All right, I'm just kind of finagling this. If you just don't have this completely covered, that's okay, because you know that design's going to be going off the paper. I'm just trying to finagle this so that I get one stamp and I don't have to try to double stamp this or move my stamp around to get it to kind of match up and get the edges to match. But anyway, I'm turning my fall stamps into Christmas, something for Christmas. So I get another season out of this. Versus just kind of keeping these for fall, right? And I try to do that with most everything. Like when I buy something, I've got to look at it and go, okay, I can use it for fall. What are some other things that I could do with this to maximize? Basically, I'm just maximizing my budget. That one is cool, cool, cool. Check that one out. Okay, set that one aside. I'm going to probably do, I'm going to do that one just the once, I think, because that design is so tight and the lines and stuff. So I don't want too much black on this. So that's the only time I'm going to use that one. I'm going to use these other two a little bit more. So now I'm going to get out that third leaf. Okay, just throw that in there. This is small enough that I can cover that whole leaf, like so. Or that whole Christmas tree, I mean. And I'm just using the archival jet black here for all of them. And you could technically, now that I'm thinking about it, let's just go next holiday. Let's go Valentine's, right? I could make hearts and stamp them, a pink on pink or red on pink or something with these to get the design inside the hearts. Would totally work for these. Let me zoom out so you can kind of see here. Especially Zentangle. These Zentangle can be used for any shape, literally anything. Okay, so now I'm going to probably have to move this just a little bit to get this bigger one in there. I'm going to probably go double on this one. So I'm going to go this way, and then I'm going to go, excuse me, then I'm going to go the other way. I want to use this one again. All right, and then I'm going to switch, and I'll use the that first leaf for my little tiny tree that I have left over here. My jet black is kind of dry, so I'm just double stamping this so that I can just get a nice crisp stamp on that. Okay, now I'll move this just to get that little bottom piece. Doesn't have to be the same leaf either. I guess I could mix another leaf in there too, So I might have to go, I'm going to go here, and then I'm going to go right there. So this is going to be a triple tree. And if you're going to do like bulk of stuff, I mean, you could literally just do this in sections, right? So I could have all my triangles cut out, all my trees cut out. Then I could go and distress these, spray all these, right? Let them dry, and then just go through, start stamping. So just do this in chunks, and you could mass produce these ones actually pretty darn easy with just these simple. These aren't heavy techniques, right? That aren't taking a ton of time. So you could really mass produce this quite easily. I'm going to overlay that just slightly. I'm okay with that because I want that to. I'm just probably not going to stamp my loop-de-loop. I'll just keep the ink off of that loop-de-loop. So if I go over here, I'm not going to stamp that little loopy-loop tip, so that way it doesn't overlay too much. And then I'll just get right up to that little piece. So it gets right up in that nook there. Just like so. And I'll do that one more time. So I get a nice crisp image down on that piece right there. And that's the big one. That works, dude. That really works. So cool. All right, try not to get too inky here with that ink on the grippy mat. I'm gonna go back to that first one because it's actually one of my favorite leaves. This leaf actually is one of my favorite leaves to color, to hand color too, because it's got cool little design on the inside to pick up on. Just throw that right in there, right about there is where it was. All right, last one, then we're just gonna make our little snow banks and kind of assemble all this. And I just recently bought, that's probably good, a one and done on that one. Okay, let's just set this aside. Again, this is the Desiree Tangles, and this is her A Tangled Leaves stamp set, okay? Pardon me. All right, now, these are brand new to me. I have not even used them yet. This is from Lawn Fawn, and these are the stitched hillside borders. And I want to make some snowbanks. So I'm gonna go. I think I'm gonna go this kind of deeper snowbank here. So this first one, I haven't even taken them apart. See, never used them. So I'm gonna use that one, and then I think I want to use this hilly one for the back. So this is gonna be my backside one, and then I'll do one in the front. So I'm going to kind of go probably about half up on this one. We're going to angle this slightly down, and then I'll do the next one below that for my snowbanks, okay? All right, now I'm actually so excited to use these even. I've never, I haven't purchased anything like this. I'm starting to purchase stuff. Again, a little outside my norm because I'm seeing now cards that I feel comfortable doing after doing this for a little while. So it's just kind of stretching me a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to scoot this up so you can kind of see. I just want this, I've pre-cut these so that I have the width. And I knew the height was going to vary just slightly. So I know I've got some tall and some short trees. So I'm going to bring this one right about here. And then my next one's going to have to be, because I know I can put a tree that, you know, in these nooks and crannies. And then my next hill is going to have to be here so it layers, okay? Or below that line so it layers nice. I'm so excited. I've never done like snowbanks like this either. I've always hand cut them and drawn them and hand cut them. And now I'm going to have this nice little stitch on them. All right, so here's my first little snowbank. Right, like so. Now I'm going to keep this up here because, oh no, that's not my snowbank. Here's my snowbank with a stitch on it. Now I see what it just depends on which way you go with this, on where how far that comes down. So, all right, so that's my first one. Now, the second one, I just know if I hold this like this, it's got to go below there. So I'm going to go that one more swoopy, not quite so hilly one. And we're going to go right about there. Like so. And that should give me some little opposite hills. Yep, that's going to fall below. So that's nice. All right. So I think that should cut out and stitch that side. Yep. Now that I understand that. All right. Snowbank number 2. Perfect. Let me set this aside. Okay. I have cut out my snowbanks so that they fit on my card base that I did. So it's just a nice mint kind of green. It's from this Christmas collection that I had from last year. And so this first layer is going to fit. It's 5 1/4 by 4 1/2, just 1/8 under, because I like a little tiny white border. I don't like mine to go right to the edge. Then, see if I can get that to focus just better. My second layer is going to lay over top of that, slightly below, and we're going to pop this up on dimensionals. And then I've popped on here the Merry Christmas sentiment, which is from the Desiree Tangle's Include a Thank You holiday set. Her new holiday set, which I've got some videos that are going to be coming out for this, and this one is called the Tangled Ornaments. She's got Merry Christmas, Noel, and Joy. I was going to use Joy, but it doesn't fit where I wanted it to. So we're going to go Merry Christmas right in the corner of that snowbank in a nice forest green is what I stamped that. Now what I want to do is take my Christmas trees that we've stamped, okay? And I want to see how I can arrange these on here. So I have this large one, and I didn't know if that should pop up towards the front or if that's too big. I feel like it's slightly too big. And then it's too big, I think, to tuck behind this, like so. I think it just takes up too much space. This one here might work in the front. Then these ones, like they're off in the distance, can go like so. In here, I think. And then my medium might go right in there. I like that actually a lot. Yeah, I like that a lot. And I think we're going to keep it nice and simple and leave it as is. I may throw some Nouveau drops in there. I'm not totally sure yet, but I might leave it nice and simple like this. So let's glue this down, then we'll pop this up and glue the rest down. So what I want to do is I just want to glue this down in these two spots. I know that, right? So I'm just going to do my little bottom edge of my tree here. And then this one's going to go right here on that little crevice of a snowbank. Then this one will go up in this little crevice of a snowbank, doing the same thing. Just glue that bottom down, and then I'll glue the rest down. That way I get my placement right on this. Okay, now we're just going to glue this whole piece down onto my base. And this is going to lay flat with no dimensionals on here. Okay. Keep my messes as much as I can. I'm going to zoom out just a tweak here. All right. Just like so. Looks like I got a little ink off of my glass mat here that I had. I probably didn't clean this up the best. That might cover by my snowbank, so I might luck out. All right. And then we're going to pop this one up on dimensionals. But I'm going to place my one tree here first. So this one I know is going to go right in this little crevice there. I could have probably given this a little bit of blue on that snow, but I'm just keeping this nice and clean. Like so. Now we're going to give this some dimension. So we're going to pop all of this now up on dimensionals. Okay. So that way I get this other snowbank popping in front of that first one. Ah, my little tree doesn't want to stick on me. Probably working too fast. I didn't let that set. So this just super easy card. Really super easy. This is a great scrap card too, right? If you got little scraps that you can cut into triangles, you could just put all small trees. You know, no snowbank. I debated of even do the snowbanks and just putting 3 or 4 trees across my card front and calling it a day. So it does not need to have the snowbanks on here. But I had this new die set that I just was dying to use. Sorry, I had to say that. I just couldn't resist. And so I wanted to try the snowbanks. All right, now we're going to put this one here, and I know that that's going to be laying over the edge, so we're going to throw this up on a dimensional to hold that up, like so. And we're going to glue this onto the snowbank, and then the tip of the tree here will be sitting on that dimensional. Yeah, come on. My fingernail just can't grab that one. There we go. Okay. And then I'll just fill in that gap here on the edge. Like so. All right, let me grab a card base. I'm wondering if I should do craft or white, but I think I'm going to go white on this one. And keep this just a nice, simple, bright card. All right, let me just fold this, and I'm going to wipe this just because I have a feeling there's some muck on there that I don't want to get on my white base here. All right, let's just fold my base down. This whole thing up. I'm going to trim that little piece right there off. Let me grab my big shears here. The good thing about this new little mic is I can walk around my craft room and you can still hear. All right, just trim that little excess of my snowbank off there. Okay. This whole thing now will be on that base. Like so. Brand my back, and then, oh, look at that. It's just a nice kind of Christmassy, minty green kind of feel on that. And let's just get that to scoot down a little bit. Attach that too fast. All right, let me line that up better. If my head's in the way, I apologize. I just got to look over top here to get a nice alignment on this. So you can kind of see the way I cut my bases. I like a little bit of that white around the edge. I go about 1/8 of an inch under. All right, there we have a nice textured Christmas tree made out of fall leaves. Super easy. Let's get a nice little zoom on that. Christmas sentiment from her Tangled Ornaments Christmas set, brand new. Check that out. These are the fall stamps. This is from the Tangled Leaves. I cut out my triangles. I distress these with my Distress Oxide sprays. I'll list all this in the description for you. And then I just cut with my new Lawn Fawn Hillside die cuts. And you got yourself a nice, cute little tree. Now, what I'm going to probably do to finish this off is I will take those leaves in green. I'm going to stamp the inside once I get this nice and dry, just to bring that texture into the inside and carry that through. So there you have it. Thank you so much for hanging with me. See if I can get a front view here for you. That's cute. That is super cute. Could have probably moved this one tree here just slightly over now that I see the alignment, but I'm okay. That's all right. Idea was just to show you the technique. Thank you all so much for hanging with me. Appreciate you all. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Would love to have you follow me on Instagram at Manly Made Minute, and here on YouTube. Hit that thumbs up and a comment. Helps that algorithm, and appreciate every single comment. I will reply, I promise. I love the input, I love the feedback, and I love to know if you just like what I'm kind of showing here as well. So again, this is from the Desiree Tangled Fall and Holiday Set. go ahead and check them out. I'll put the links down below in my comments. Just kind of stretching those sets out to use for as much as we possibly can and feature some new stuff here for you. So again, more to come on Desiree Tangles as I'm on her design team. There's a couple of us, and I will put their you can follow them on YouTube, and I'll put them in the description as well. Biddy Petty is one of them, and she does an amazing job. So thanks for hanging with me, and I got more to come on this holiday set coming up. All right? Until next time, I'll see you then.